So I've just released the newest album recently. I myself, someone who probably would have been considered IVE just a couple of months back, is actually here to give them a lot of prop today. This might sound like an exaggeration, but I personally think that IVE, yes, that's the name of the album, is a great release for the group, helped them figure out a lot of stuff, and ultimately gave them like a higher ceiling when it comes to how popular, how big they can be in the future. I'll try my best to explain why I think that way, but first let's start off by talking about the two main focal points, the two main tracks in this album, 𝐢𝐻 and I Am. Now IVE as a group hasn't got any lack of criticism over the past year. The main thing that people criticized them over were the live stages, the attitude in those stages, and one that I would like to personally add to the list was all the tracks. Now don't get me wrong, all of the tracks sound really good. Songs such as Afterlife, Love Dive, 11, they're all very catchy, they're all just, very enjoyable to listen to. But 11 and Afterlife, I personally don't think Love Dive falls into this category, or sort of generic. I'm also talking about Afterlife than 11, but Afterlife gives me the illusion that any label can like just create the song for any single group and make it as popular and sound as good. Now that I'm saying it, this argument sounds very out of fault, but what I'm trying to say right here is that IVE, although their music sounds good, although they're like already really big, they didn't exactly have a set style yet. When you look at some of the companions that also debuted at the same time, such as 𝐶𝐝, The Seraphim, NMIXX, and NewJeans, they all have different styles, they have different things about the music that really stands out to us. But IVE on the other hand, like yeah, the tracks sound good, but can we really say that they're like unique in many ways? That's why I think this album right here, IVE, plays such a huge factor in the future of their career, because it's like a stepping stone for them. Like yeah, they made a big wave with Afterlife, with Love Dive, with 11, but like what exactly is next though? All of those songs sound really good, but there isn't exactly a good direction for them to go under. Starship took the undeniably good parts in the previous track, such as the catchiness and the instrumentals, and added to these two right here. And although they aren't exactly perfect, I mean, it would be ridiculous for like a new group like them to release a perfect song. Not everyone is NewJeans. That was a joke, by the way. Please don't get mad at me. But yeah, although both of these songs are not perfect, especially that rap part from 𝐻𝐻, which is like the exact replica of OMG by 𝐺_IDOL. Both of the tracks sound really good, and it's like following their path by creating their own style, which is like one of the most important things about a K-pop group. I actually went through several phases with the group IVE. When I first discovered them, I wouldn't say like I absolutely loved them or anything, but I was definitely interested due to 𝐅𝐢𝐱𝐞𝐝 and her appearance on 𝐼R𝐷. But then I watched another open mic performances, and I kid you not, I was thinking about ending my K-pop career like right then and there. This was the main reason why I wouldn't even say like dislike IVE. I just didn't want to accept their existence because they're one of, if not the biggest group of Gen 4 at this moment. But like the performing aspect, the performing factors are just like terrible. Like members dodging high notes, shaky singing on easy parts, and some fucking members just not singing at all. Like I'm pretty sure they were invited on the podcast once and they were like, supposed to advertise the song, and they just lip sync the whole entire fucking thing. All of that aside though, the group as a whole is actually improving a lot when it comes to live performances. I think the main problem is that like outside of maybe Liz, none of the members know how to do like a falsetto properly, which is why they dodge like every single like and Afterlife. And I think there's more things that put into play. Like it feels like this group is afraid to sing at certain times. I think I forgot what stage it was on, but it was when Love Dive won an award. You guys know what I'm talking about. It was an iconic moment where like Lay went dive instead of singing a high note, and everyone's like hating on her for that. And the funny thing is, she's actually like the second best vocalist in the group. I remember when her and Liz went on that one show and they like just sing perfectly together. While the group is still lacking as a whole when it comes to the skill aspects of things like performing live, I definitely do think there's other factors put into play. Like for example, I've been watching Produce for Day recently, and both Eugene and Wonyoung were a part of it, and they were like both outstanding trainees during that period. A lot of people were terrified by the Starship trio, like boasting over how good they are at such a young age. And although I haven't exactly finished the show yet, their performances throughout these episodes have been pretty well. And the fact that they were able to debut and keep up with 𝐼𝐸_ZONE, which has some of the most difficult K-pop songs like the past 7 years or so. I mean, granted, they were the two youngest members of 𝐼𝐸_ZONE, but they were still able to keep up properly. Like, yeah, there's obviously other things that push into play. Like, Eugene got COVID a while ago, which, obviously affects people's singing. I don't know if it's this long lasting, but Wonyoung like not singing at all during most stages, and also slacking off when it comes to like dancing, just doesn't seem right. A lot of people have made the argument that this is like Starship's plan. Starship wants them to attract haters from some of these actions, because haters aren't exactly a good thing, but they do bring traction to groups, which does translate to popularity, which is good in certain aspects. But their personal stages over like the past few months have been improving. I don't know if any stages of I Am have been released yet, but I definitely want to see that, because I think IVE's biggest weakness are like high notes right now. Outside of Liz, who's the main vocalist of the group, no one can really keep up with them. Actually, that's kind of Eugene's specialty as well, but when there's like falsetto involved, this group just falls apart for some reason. But as a whole, not only the dancing, but the stage presence has also improved over time. Another argument a lot of people made was that the older stages, like for example after like 11, some of the facial expressions during those performances are like overly dramatic, which is a huge turnoff for a lot of people, and I definitely do have to agree with them in those aspects, because especially during like Afterlight, I used to get so pissed off watching open mic performances of Afterlight because, you know, they weren't able to sing the song properly, but they still had like these dramatic facial expressions on their face that just pissed me the fuck off. But the older tracks were definitely on the cute tier side, while the newer ones, I don't know, they're not girl crush yet, I don't think they're there yet, but they're sort of in the middle, which also pushes to play with things such as the choreography, removing all of those, you know, facial expressions that people were complaining about. I personally think IVE is going in a great direction right now, fixing a lot of things that a lot of people just disliked about them in the past, and it seems like they're a bit more carefree now. Like I previously said, they were just like terrified of singing for some reason, like even during, you know, those award shows where they're just like having fun, singing casually, dodging every single high note possible. But yeah, also the Legging and the Pink Hair Curse, IVE is definitely a great release for the group, like I previously said, being like a stepping stone for them to create their own style to go even further as a K-pop group. Like when it comes to simply popularity, IVE has been incredible since they debuted, since they dropped 11, continuing with Love Dive, winning, you know, track of the year for the MMA. Like yeah, they had all of these fans of these popular members hit songs, but in a way it didn't feel long lasting because of how the group was. But with the release of this album, I would personally say that IVE has not only solidified themselves as one of the top groups of Gen 4, but also just K-pop as a whole. Although IVE still isn't exactly one of my favorite groups, I still think they're very flawed in many aspects, but they definitely all improve and they definitely all go in a better direction. I feel the need to criticize not only IVE but most of the top groups in K-pop because, you know, they're the face of the genre. And when a group of this caliber can't even sing a simple track properly, I myself as a fan is obviously going to be happy about it. But yeah, it does seem like most of the members are improving, most of the members are at least trying to improve, and, you know, I'm just kind of happy to see the growth. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I previously mentioned, I went through several phases of IVE, mostly with me disliking them, and now I actually, you know, kind of accept their existence and want them to just grow for the better. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys will have a nice day, and, you know, thank you if you actually watched the whole entire thing, and hopefully we'll see you again. Peace out.